This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for a Tuesday. Little thunder. Man, the thunder was so loud last night. It was unbelievable.
I was scared my power was going to go out again because it sounded worse than it did like a week and a half ago.
Yep, you're absolutely right. It was very, very loud. We didn't get much action. I don't think anybody's power went out, did it?
I don't believe so. I didn't see anybody like tweet about outages in the area or anything like that.
It's all true. So I'm just looking at some headlines from the day, you know, what's going on. It's mostly about Kamala Harris. You notice I didn't call her Kamala because that's not her name. Her name is Kamala. Why does everybody say Kamala?
I feel like because it's an unusual name here for like the U.S. And so I feel like a lot of people panic and they're like, and then they just hurry up and shout the first thing they hear or think of.
See, all my Italian friends call me Tommaso. They just won't go with Thomas. They go with Tommaso.
Tomasino.
Not Tomasino. That's a woman, you pill.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Get away from me.
I would assume because like in Spanish, like if it ends in O, it's masculine versus A, feminine. I would assume that most languages went that same route.
So you're going Tommaso? Is that what you're saying?
Tommaso?
No, Tommaso. You said you called me a woman.
Tomasino.
Well, because he
Tomasina.
said
That's
there
where you
we
went,
go.
Tomasina. That's right. I forgot. We're finding out this morning that Harris's wealth comes mostly from her and her husband's investments. Well, all these politicians do scammy stuff. They learn about this stuff way before we do. What's that woman's name that I always try to forget her name because I hate her?
Pelosi?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. Didn't she and her husband make like hundreds of millions of dollars by getting in early?
They make quite a bit on investments. There's a service called like Unusual Whales or something like that, where because if you're a politician, your investments need to be made public and all that stuff is public. So basically this site in real time will be like, hey, Nancy Pelosi just bought X amount of stock in this company or sold this amount of stock in this company. Mm-hmm. And then by all means, if you want to follow that trend, go ahead. Because over the past like 5 years, she's up like 8% or something like that.
That's it.
I don't know. That was just
she jumped through the roof about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I was just making up figures. I'm sure it's probably more than 8%.
Yeah, she probably like purposely lost a little money because she's like, I gotta throw him off the scent a little bit. Let me.
Do you think that her family's ever going to admit that her husband was banging that other guy?
I don't know.
God, no.
They're never going to admit that?
There's some information that I'm sure you couldn't get out of somebody with CIA torture.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you a question. So they're showing the video, the two guys. If the guy just broke in the house, why are they both in their underwear?
The rush of adrenaline.
If you're trying to sneak, through the house, the less clothing, it's less drag. You can, quickly get in and out of doorways. So
that's less drag. You're absolutely right about it. Mm-hmm. Look, I don't give a rat's ass who you have sex with. That's not what I'm talking about. But the guy's trying to hit you with, what is he trying to stab him with a sword or something?
I think he had a hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a hammer. That's what it was. But they're both in their underwear. So if the guy just broke in, why are they both in their underwear?
I think it was in the middle of the night, wasn't it? So I guess
I don't know.
Potentially maybe he sleeps in his underwear. Doesn't explain the intruder.
Yes.
Though.
No, we can explain half of it.
You can explain. Look, again, you want to bang a guy, it's your business. That's none of my business, but why do we have to lie about it? That's what I'd like to know. Black women mobilized for Kamala Harris's campaign, but brace for backlash. What backlash? What backlash are they going to face?
Well, it's just kind of the same thing that you've seen with. I guess here's what I'll say. On my time on Twitter/X, I've already seen a flood of like a picture of her mid talking, and it's like, quick. How long can I do essentially like sexual favors for half the country to get votes? Those type of jokes and remarks, or like a political poster where it's like Harris 2024, and it's misogynistic quotes about that angle of attack, which seems rather childish in the year 2024, because frankly, unfortunately, the idea of a woman being president to some people is still just a crazy thought.
Really?
Yes. It's wild to think that. We have to have like a serious conversation. It's kind of pathetic at the end of the day, but a lot of people for some reason are like, no, she just can't do it because she's a woman.
Yeah, and she looks much younger than like Hillary did when Hillary ran. So it was like, oh, you can't really make fun of grandma too much and sexualize grandma. But in this instance, I think it'll be a lot worse because she looks more like she's like 40 years old.
Do you think there's any chance that Catherine is the president of our house?
I think that it's the only chance.
I think it's the only chance.
Because it sure isn't you. So
it's not me, I guarantee you.
Jude is the only other candidate in that race.
Yes, that's exactly right. There's no question about it. Did you hear what my grandson said? You guys, I don't know if you ever listened to the family show.
I saw some listener feedback yesterday. I missed it because I had to have a little extra performance stuff going on at SKOR, but I saw some people saying like, the kid, great show, but the little kids are hilarious. What would your grandson say?
At the very end of the show last week, mic's still on, show's still running, takes off his headphones and goes, "I'm famous."
Obviously.
You're 5. Why don't you calm down? I'm famous. Oh, are you? Okay. No, it's great having them on. I mean, the family show is called the family show because family means everything to me. I suppose that's because my family wasn't that tight when I was a kid. I mean, some of the kids were when we were to our mother, but our father was out of the mix. So I suppose I was always looking for this kind of family, Catherine and me, and then our kids, and then their kids, and just having the family all hanging out together is very, very important. I think that I love it. I'd be honest with you. I'm glad to hear that people do like the kids and they think they're funny. That's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great. I mean, and the thing I feel like kids on any sort of broadcast or anything like that always works out well. I mean, think about the shows that have been basically like centered around that. Kids say the darndest things.
Yeah.
When you look at AFTV or America's Funniest Videos or whatever it's called now, the clips that always win that are, a kid saying something goofy or funny kind of, because it's just like, it's just what comes to them. It's like that innocence. It's that impulse. And so, I mean, the more the kids are on the family show, I think the better.
I think like I said, I love doing it anyway. That's really the key for Catherine and me is we love having them on there. We love just being around them. It's a hell of a deal when the whole family gets along for 3. Well, like I said, an example, when my grandkids come over, they come to me immediately because they know I'll put them in a headlock and, pick on them and do all that kind of stuff. My grandfathers never came near me. Well, one of them was a psychopath, first of all. He had this kind of, he had the lateral S.
Oh, yep.
So Thomas, let me ask you a question. He used to do that, But he called me one time when I was, I never got along with him. He was just a prick. Just, ugh. He lives on 15th in Chicago. And he calls me one day and he goes, "Thomas, I need your help. There's some FBI's coming through the window." I said, "The FBI's are coming through the window, are they?" "Okay, well, I'll get back to you." Of course, I never did, but I don't know. That guy, God, what a nut job that guy was. He used to be like a rum runner back in the day when he was a teenager.
Oh.
Yeah, he used to run booze. They'd make booze. And would you ever drink a bottle of booze that was made in somebody's kitchen?
Depends on how well I know them.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
Because like I've had some buddies that have done like the apple pie moonshine type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If you make it right, it's actually not that bad.
Sure.
But for the most part, to your point, if I can't see you or interact with you, I'm probably going to pass on that glass.
Or like the moonshine people out in like West Virginia that make it in the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you drink it and you go blind, essentially.
Other than that, though,
everything's good. What's that movie? The Great Escape.
Oh, Great Escape.
Where they make the moonshine in the camp and everybody's taking a sip and it's like, how is it? They drink it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Now we're talking. Okay, I'm asking a generational question here.
Go ahead.
Because I do not understand. When Kamala Harris was named as possible next presidential candidate and all the rest of it, the first thing I saw on the national news was, well, how's Taylor Swift going to vote? What? Does that make any sense to you at all?
It does, because she has such a loud voice to such an important demographic.
Yeah.
Because think about how since 2016, 2020, how many of the and I'll just, the boomer generation has passed away, whether it's due to age or illness or anything like that.
Yep.
A lot of younger kids have now gotten to that point where they can vote, and that demographic is, most of them probably know or are fans of Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very passionate. So if she is passionate and voices her opinion about something in a certain way, it seems like it kind of wears off on them because they're impressionable. So it does make sense to kind of try to get the numbers, because at the end of the day, even 1 million votes is still 1 million votes.
Oh yeah, you're right. But do they understand? She's a billionaire. You're not like her.
Well, I think she also is just going to get interviewed a ton, and naturally the question that's going to come up is, hey, you might be witnessing the first female president. Like, are you excited for that? And then if she comes out and is like, oh my gosh, yeah, this is so exciting. This could be a historic moment. And now all of her fans go, yeah, you're right. Let's all vote for Kamala. It could sway people's minds and votes, just because, like you're saying, they're very young and impressionable. And so if Taylor Swift says it, let's do it and make another album and sell out stadiums.
What was Truman's great line again? Show me a politician, I'll show you a crook. They are all crooks. Do people not realize, all of them, Democrats, Republicans, men, women, doesn't matter skin color, if you're a politician, you're a piece of shit, basically. You just are.
Yeah, probably an overwhelming majority, but I'd like to believe there's at least one or two that have at least some decency and are trying to do the right thing. But I'd have to do some research, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Look, you got to vote. I understand you. But I hear more and more and more, well, I don't want to vote for so-and-so, but I'd rather vote for them than the other guy. I hear a lot of that.
Yeah.
So they're both bad choices, but I'll take the less bad, I guess. We got to take a break here. Be right back in a couple of seconds. But it's fascinating to me to watch all this stuff as it goes by, because does it matter to me who becomes president? No, not really. Is it going to affect my life? I don't see how. It's already, they already jacked up the prices as much as they possibly can. So I don't know what else they're going to do. Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livea Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts with Livea. When you join Livea's doctor-recommended and award-winning nutrition program, you'll receive 50% off. And Livea Medical is offering $75 instant savings on GLP-1 medications. That works really well, by the way, really well. Whatever you need to make your weight loss journey a success, it starts with Livea. You will get personalized one-on-one support, expert nutrition, and medical support. Choose a trusted leader serving our communities for 15 years. And I told you yesterday, I started lifting weights. And I talked to Tevin about this because Tevin's been a big weightlifter in his life. So I get on the scale and I'm 5 pounds heavier than I was. But then I did remember that used to always happen from the time I was 16. You lift weights and get on the scale, you're going to be heavier because your muscle is trying to build by holding on to what every morsel it possibly can. So I got on the scale this morning and I had dropped 2 already, and by Thursday, Friday, it'll all be gone. I'm sure I'll be at least back to 0, maybe even a little lower than that. So nothing to worry about. It's not a big deal. Visit Livea.com. That's Livea.com. Call 855-GO-LIVEA and receive 50% off Livea's nutrition plan. Plus, if you join Livea Medical, you'll get $75 instant savings on their GLP-1 medications. That's very good. Semaglutide and tirzepatide. Visit Livea.com or call 855-GO-LIVEA. Accelerate your success with Livea.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees, I want to thank our listeners for all your continued support. To thank you They're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code Tom, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything's on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com, or you can just pick up the phone and call 800-516-5146. Use promo code Tom, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code Tom.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Judd Zulgad. We got a win yesterday. How the hell did that happen against Philadelphia?
Because baseball's a wacky game, Tom.
It is a wacky game.
Baseball's a wacky game. Best team in baseball comes in after the Twins lose to the Brewers, and I think we all thought, especially with the pitching matchups, Twins probably were going to get swept in the series.
Yep.
And because baseball's a wacky game, the Twins not only win, they win 7-2. So
7-2.
I can't explain it. I just know that that's how baseball is.
That's very interesting when a team, Philadelphia, scored 2 runs in the first inning and then didn't cross the plate again the rest of the game.
Yeah. Oh, no question. And you know, they got off to the start where Bryce Harper, who's been in the league a long time now, playing his first game ever at Target Field, comes up, absolutely destroys a Bailey Ober pitch. I think it was a splitter. And like you said, it's 2 rip, and they don't score again. And Ober, after the second inning, was absolutely fantastic.
That's absolutely true. So that's a win I did not expect to read about. No question about it.
Yeah, and now Cleveland's struggling, which they were bound to do eventually. They finally are. I think they've won only 3 of their last 10. And so the Royals, who've gotten hot, and the Twins are now both tied 4 games back. So, and the Twins have 8 games left against Cleveland.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah, I think that's going to decide their ultimate fate, because there is definitely going to be a chance. I mean, and Kansas City might capitalize too, but there's definitely going to be a chance to win the division here. Mm-hmm. And I think it's those 8 games. The other incredible stat now is that I think there are 6 teams that have better records in baseball than the Twins. So the Twins, it's not bad. So the Twins against those teams going into last night, Tom, were 2-19 this season.
What?
Well, 2-19. Cleveland. Really? The Yankees, the Phillies, the Brewers, who they just lost 2-2 at home. There were 6 teams, and the Twins have now played every one of those teams at least once, because the Phillies were the last team, I think, and they were 2-19. So they are now 3-19 against the 6 teams better than them.
Much better, no question. Now, we brought this up earlier as far as the presidential race, but I want to ask you, whenever the Twins go into a new series, do you call Taylor Swift to find out her opinion on how the Twins are going to do?
Oh, absolutely. It's the most important thing. So. You have to.
You have to give her
You absolutely have to.
They're best friends. They talk all the time.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, she largely controls how the youth of America thinks.
It's true.
She's the Beatles, man.
But I never cared how Paul McCartney voted in the British elections. I never cared.
No, but you would now. Like that's the one thing that's changed. But it is incredible, like the influence that these stars can have, especially the ones who are just beyond stars. She's like a mega star, but
she is a mega star, a billionaire. How old is she again? Her late 20s or something?
Late 30s, I believe.
Oh, is she in her late 30s?
She's like 30, mid-30s.
God, she doesn't look 30. She
34.
She looks very, very young.
34 years old.
Same age as Alex then. Of course, Alex is pretty young too, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, God bless them. But people are influenced by actors and actresses and all this, that, and the other thing. So
yep, it's
going to be rather interesting. But look, getting back to the Twins is good to see. That was a hell of a win, 7-2.
And now so they go up against another really good pitcher tonight. They have Zach Wheeler tonight, who's good, going for Philadelphia. They have Aaron Nola in the series finale on Wednesday, who's really good. So, yeah, it's going to be tough, but this is going to be fun. It's too bad that the vast majority of people, it feels like, in the metropolitan area, though, can't watch it because the Twins aren't on Comcast.
Did you just say somebody's name is Aaron Nola?
Aaron Nola. Good pitcher.
That's the guy's name.
Aaron Nola.
Do you know what an areola is?
Yeah, I've never thought of it that way.
And the second you said his name, was like, the guy's named after the rim around your tit?
Yeah.
Really? That's what they named him after that?
Aaron Nola. Yeah. Yeah. I'd never thought of it that way.
Well, now I've ruined your life.
Yeah. Well, now I'll never see him the same way again.
Exactly.
I'll think of that before I think, oh, good pitcher.
I am very, very happy with the way Twins are going. Like I said, I didn't care for the fact they lost a couple to Milwaukee, but they're now, Tevin was telling me, just 4 games out. So that's good.
Yep. Tied with KC. And I will say this. They lost the 2 games to the Brewers, but the amount of money that people from Wisconsin pumped into the economy, that stadium, I've seen fan bases, including last night. The Phillies had a large contingent there, and I don't know if there's some transplants. I don't know if it's people that travel or what, but I mean, it was a nice crowd. But the Brewers, the Let's Go Brewers chants literally drowned out the Twins fans on multiple occasions. It was incredible. The atmosphere was great, but it was a tremendous amount of Brewers fans.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. You know, one of my favorite stories of all time, Dave Hamilton told me this story. He's driving toward the Hudson Bridge there. Hudson, Wisconsin. You go over the river on the bridge. And this was after a Viking-Packer game, which was here in Minnesota. And there's all these cop cars and everything and all the rest of it. And let me mention that no one was hurt, luckily, in this accident. But apparently 4 guys, Packer fans, somehow slid off the side of the road and their car flipped upside down. But thank God nobody was hurt. But the reason Hamilton was even telling me the story is as he's driving by, he looked down and there were 4 cheeseheads on the roof of the car. Their hats came off when the car flipped upside down. But they were not hurt, thank God.
Well, that's good. Yes. That is good. That's pretty funny, though. You're right.
That's your 4 cheeseheads on the roof of the car.
Who knows? Those things are like cushiony. They might have saved them.
Might have. You're right.
Cheeseheads might be a safety thing.
Just driving down the street with a cheese head on now. Everybody gets to wear a cheese head.
Yeah, that's incredible. But I do wonder how much money was pumped into the economy downtown.
Oh, God.
Because those Wisconsin fans are going to drink you dry. That's a stereotype. That's a fair stereotype. It is incredible how much they can drink.
Oh, that's true. There's no doubt about that. There's no question about that at all. And God, I love Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
I love Minnesota and Wisconsin. Great spots. No question about it.
No, Wisconsin's fantastic. I've said that. And it's weird too, because it's got one city in particular that doesn't belong and the rest of it makes perfect sense. Madison makes no sense to me.
No, I agree.
It's this progressive, more, it's like, what are you doing in the middle of this state where everyone else basically feels like they're the same?
No, you're absolutely right. There's no question about that. But I will tell you, as a youth, and you guys are a lot younger than me, but as a youth, we used to drive over to Wisconsin every Sunday so we could buy booze.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Drive over there. You could buy booze over in Wisconsin because they didn't sell it. Now they sell it here on Sundays, right?
Yes. I remember when I first moved to Minnesota and they're like, yeah, liquor stores are closed on Sundays. And I was like, what? Liquor stores are closed on Sundays.
Oh, somebody made a mistake.
No way.
That's pretty much true, isn't it?
Yeah. My friend was like, yeah, we have to go to Wisconsin to buy a keg. And I was like, well, that sounds like this sounds like a terrible place to live. But
the two things that never made sense to me, I mean, and hell, both of these things have changed in the last 20 years. So it's not that long, relatively speaking, is that. So the fact that you couldn't buy, that liquor stores were closed on Sundays, and then the 1 a.m. bar time.
Yes, right.
It's like, I'm not looking for 3, but how about we push that sucker to 2?
There's a bar in West Palm Beach, and it looks kind of ramshackly. I will tell you that. It doesn't look like it's a high-end setup. They post their hours on the front of the bar. Open from 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. They close for 1 hour to clean the place up.
Yes. I love it.
6 to 5. Oh, okay.
I love it. Yeah, no, that's the one. I think in Chicago, there are grandfathered bars. I think you can stay open till about 3 or so there. But in New York, I've seen those signs, or at least they used to be there, where they would literally pull the curtains at 5.
Yep.
I think they pulled the curtains so you couldn't see who stayed there. And then supposedly they would sweep until 6 and then be like, oh, we're open for business.
Yep, 6 to 5. Open 6 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Do you need to put your hours if you are going to be open that long? That's the question.
No, I think they're bragging. I think that's why they do it, because they're bragging.
Sure
if I show up at 5:30 and I can't get in,
It's a good point.
We're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have an issue.
Also, if you're still at that bar at like 4 a.m., like, go home. Like, there's nothing. Well, there's nothing good happening at this place.
That's absolutely true. But don't forget, and I've seen this in a few bars more in my youth because I don't stay out this late now. But when the last shift of the day, you'll have guys who will head right to the bar.
Oh yeah, and no question about it. I remember one time we were hanging around with some friends, and I met this guy through a friend, and we got along really, really well. I think, had both just turned 21 years old, and he was bragging about he's from Forest City, Iowa. Right? It's right there on the border. That's where Winnebago is, I think. They used to make one, or maybe they still make Winnebagos there. But he was bragging, oh, Tommy, you got to get down to this bar someday. And it's just the greatest bar of all time. And, you know, we've been hitting it a little bit. Drove to Forest City that night so I could see this bar. Of course, we got there about 4 o'clock in the morning, so we had to sleep in the car for a while until they opened. Drove all the way to Forest City just so I could see his favorite bar. That's the youth of America for you right there, baby.
Amen. Amen, man. And now you're like, what was I thinking? And at the time, it made perfect sense.
What is that, like a 3-hour drive, something like that?
Yeah.
The border?
Yeah, to Iowa.
Yeah.
It's not 3.
Not 3.
It's probably around 2 or so. But I mean, still, to do it at 4 and then sleep in the car now sounds absolutely crazy. But I'm telling you, at 21, you're like, of course, yeah, no question. Makes perfect sense.
I want to see it right now.
Yep.
It's not too soon to see your bar right now.
Yeah, that's a road trip. I don't care if it's 1:30 in the morning.
And that's what it was too. I think we got there. I think everybody was going to the Winnebago plant to work. It was a beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah. The scary thing is, to go back to your point about Wisconsin, Tom, too. The scary thing now is to think about the amount of inebriated people who got out of a bar in Minnesota and said, let's keep the party going.
Oh, no doubt about it.
And drove across the bridge when they were probably nowhere near being right to drive.
You are correct, sir. That's right on the money. All right, Pally, a brilliant report today.
Thank you. Twins won. I brought good news. What more could you want from me? Training camp opens tomorrow. The Vikings start practice tomorrow.
Oh, my God. You're going to be out there?
Oh, yeah. I'll be out there.
All right, Pally.
All right.
Morning.
Talk to you guys. Bye.
Judd Zulgad, SKOR North, ladies and gentlemen. Viking training camp begins tomorrow. Twins won a game. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work, which makes sense. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert, I said expert, planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk, of course. Yeah, all investments do involve risk, I mean. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say, we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yes, you are, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, AJ, did you get Tyler's picture for the interview in 10 minutes? Or yes. So you going to put it up there?
Yep. Absolutely.
God, look at that. He's all over it.
Professional.
It's unbelievable. Who's this guy that's on the lower left here? I don't recognize him.
He is Johnny Vacation.
Johnny V. Okay.
You've been getting some sun. A little tanner.
A lot of sun in those gyms down in Chicago.
Dude, I was hardly in the sun, so I don't think so.
So it was booze. You're red because of the booze.
It's the gin blossoms on my nose.
Yes. There you go. Very nice. So how was your trip?
That was good. Very good. Lots of hoops and got to eat a lot in Chicago, which is good. I think I put on, maybe I look different because I put on at least, 15 pounds.
15? Boy, you had.
I ate a lot. I hit it all. I hit it all. All the Chicago must-haves.
Yeah. Did you go to Gene and Giorgetti like I told you to?
No, we didn't have time for a fancy thing.
Not fancy. It's an Italian place on Franklin, man. It's wonderful.
Yeah, like if I couldn't wear gym shorts and a T-shirt in there, like that was fancy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you went to Sbarro. Okay, good for you.
Giordano's.
Giordano's good.
No, it's good. Ate there twice.
I love Chicago. Did anybody pull a gun on you?
No, I felt I feel perfectly safe every time I've ever been downtown. There are cops everywhere. A lot of the stores have security, but I'm not dumb. Like I know the Chicago experience right in downtown Chicago is a lot different than the Chicago experience is, South Side and whatnot. But
still my favorite story. I know I've told this 1,000 times. We have some new listeners. So a friend of mine, he's a kid, and I can't remember where the hell he grew up in Illinois, but not in Chicago. But he decided as a teenager he was going to go into Chicago with his buddy, and they were going to buy some fireworks for the 4th of July. So they drive to the south side of Chicago. They pull over because there's a group of guys standing on the corner, and they walk up to the guy standing on the corner and go, "Hey, you guys know where we can buy some fireworks?" The biggest guy goes, "You got money on you?" Not for long, Pally. They never did get the fireworks, and luckily they got back home safe. So that was good.
Well, that's good. They got out of there alive.
Yes. They were nice to him. They didn't took their money, but didn't kill him. So that was good. No question about it. So you had a nice, what'd you have, 5 days off?
I was off Friday, Yeah, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 5 days off.
5
What's that?
I'll say it's probably hard to keep the vacation separate because he takes so many. It just feels like one continuous.
I like.
You gotta realize I'm not going anywhere. I'm not really taking vacations. Like we're in this phase of our life right now, which is, pre-college stuff with our daughter. So, I take these days off because I know I won't get them back again. So
You're right. You're absolutely right. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. I understand I heard 6 days ago that Joe Biden tuned into Channel 5 to watch Chris Egert, and you weren't on, so he said, "Oh, that's it. I quit." I'm not going to be president anymore. I can't watch Chris Egert, I'm leaving.
Boy, I went down the rabbit hole this morning on the theories that he's dead, and I was like, oh my God, stop it. That's ridiculous.
They think he's dead?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because no one's seen him. And I'm like, okay, I get it. A certain amount of AI exists. Could there be a voice-generated Joe Biden to have made that call yesterday that he made with Kamala Harris?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but you're telling me the AI is that good that it made him sound a little sick?
Yeah.
And
they tweaked it from they had to bump it up. The first one was 10. They're like, no, we need 20 sickness on this one.
That's what I mean. And then are you going should we bump him up where he seems like he's really tired, or should we bump it up a little less so he seems less energetic? I'm sorry. Maybe I don't know enough about AI, but that's stupid. Come on. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing, the world's gone mad it's all everything can't just be, and I get it. Everything can't just kind of be face value. It's always got to be the wildest thing.
Mm-hmm. No,
whatever stupid headline we can come up with that's going to be clickbaity, that's going to get people to really, really buy into it. You know what I mean, Tom?
I know exactly what you mean, and I could not believe it happened immediately. Immediately, he was dead. It's like, what? I just don't. Why do people want such drama in their lives?
I don't know, because everything runs. I feel like this is a weird way to describe it, but I feel like we're all our the way we're on social media, we're always redlining our cars. It's always redline. The things just. And so in order to, I don't know, it never just clugs down to a regular, you're at 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs on your engine. It's always 7,000. I don't know. That's a weird way to describe it, but
it's always got to be way over the top. No, I guess it's been that way for a long time, but I mean, I hope he's not even sick. I mean, I don't know him, never met him, never talked to him, but he's a human being. So I hope he's not dying.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, they said he had COVID, and nobody. I mean, nobody's seen him in a couple days, and I don't know. Maybe he decided he didn't want to run for president. He didn't want to freaking shave for a couple days, right? He's probably you know what? The heck with it. I'm gonna eat cookies and not shave all weekend. Maybe that's the theory. Or I don't know.
So in the newsrooms around the country, what's the take on that first debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump?
Well, I think there's a question about whether there will even be one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't know that anything. I haven't heard that they've scheduled one. I don't. So I don't even. I would think there's going to be a lot of demand for it.
I would think so. Yes.
But yeah, I don't think there's any. That's not on the table yet. I don't know how it couldn't be though, right?
Do you think it shows a weakness on either side if somebody were to decline, or what do you think that does? And because it's the same thing as no answer still is also an answer, Chris. If you decline to do what feels like the most traditional of presidential things, which is a head-to-head debate with the other candidate, if you don't do that, that would more than likely be a negative viewing, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that, AJ. I think whoever declines and whatever kind of, if they do, that's what I mean. I don't know how it, unless they both agree they don't want to do it, then both, that's the only way I could see where they would, both of them would save face and just both agree they didn't want to do it, but
that's true.
I don't know. Is one of them afraid of the other one to actually get in the ring in a debate? I mean,
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. I mean, Harris came out swinging yesterday, like right out. She didn't mince any words, went right after him. So, and he'd go right after her.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's what AJ and Tevin and I do before the show starts. We go after each other.
You guys just hammer each other.
Yeah.
Tears, Kleenex are used.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Well, welcome back to the working world, Pally.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't get to bed till late last night, so on the way into work today was I was kind of glazed over.
Oh, wonderful. Glazed over behind the wheel. You sending text messages at the same time too?
No, but oh my dear God.
You see that
all the time. The drive from here to Chicago is like the gauntlet, man. It's a little restful in western Wisconsin once you get out of the cities until you get to like Madison. But then it's like Madison and it's like 90 miles an hour the whole way in. And I saw so many people on their phone, like not even looking up. Like this dude was in the fast lane. He's going 80. He's barely even looking up. Oh my God. It's frightening.
All right, Pally. Great to have you back.
Yeah. Good to see you guys. Tim Walz going to be the next
vice president
candidate.
Absolutely. How much is it going to cost us? Because it's 50 cents now to order anything from Amazon. So if he's the VP, you probably have to pay $5 just to look at him.
That was one of our stories we had this morning. And I am one who is skeptical of that happening.
It's never going to happen.
Minnesota's not politically important enough for it at the very face value. And that's not a knock on Walz or anything. It's just, but yeah.
All right, pal. Let me know.
All right, guys.
Tomorrow.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Take a break. Be right back. A very special guest, Tyler's coming up. Tyler Hoover. Of course, I talked about the fact that I lost 90 pounds in the last couple of years. 40 of the pounds of that I lost on Livea.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Tyler had to hand me, he did even better. Typical.
He makes you look. Have you seen his before and after pics?
No, not yet.
Oh, I cannot wait to show you.
See, I want to have a natural reaction to it on the show. That'll be great. Tyler Hoover with us. Went on Livea, lost. Well, we'll talk about how much he lost. Speaking of Livea, this is Tom Barnard for Livea Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts with Livea. When you join Livea's doctor-recommended and award-winning nutrition program, you will receive 50% off, and Livea Medical is offering $75 instant savings on GLP-1 medications. Work like a charm. Whatever you need to make your weight loss journey a success, it starts with Livea. You will get personalized one-on-one support, expert nutrition and medical support. Choose the trusted leader serving our communities for 15 years. So yeah, things have been going very, very well for me on it. I am going to continue with the weightlifting. So if it pops up once in a while, I'm not going to worry about it because it's not real weight gain. I mean, it is in the muscle area, but it's working out beautifully. Visit Livea.com. That's Livea.com, or call 855-GO-LIVEA and receive 50% off Livea's nutrition plan. Plus, if you join Livea Medical, you'll get $75 instant savings on their GLP-1 medications. Semaglutide, I know how to say that, and tirzepatide. Visit Livea.com or call 855-GO-LIVEA. Accelerate your success with Livea.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Tyler Hoover to the show. I have not seen the pictures yet, so before you put the pictures up, let me talk to Tyler for just 1 second. So, Tyler.
How we doing?
Not too bad. How are you doing, man? That was very sneaky, Tyler. I heard that. It was very sneaky. Okay, Tyler. So where'd you grow up?
Andover, north of the city.
Oh, sure, Andover.
Wonderful little place.
Absolutely. No. Basically, when you were a kid, were you a weightlifter? Did you play sports? I mean, because in my situation, I started lifting when I was about 16, and then I, put on some stuff here and stuff there. So what was your top weight? Mine was 315. My top weight was 315 back in the day. How high did you get?
So at my highest, I think 310, 308, something like that.
So you didn't drink as much as I did. Is that what you're saying?
I probably tried.
Yeah, there you go, Tyler. Okay, so we're gonna pop up these pictures so everyone can see where you started and where you are now. How long did it take from picture A to picture B? How long did it take you to lose that weight?
Let's see. So I started on October 1st. I think picture B was taken maybe a month ago, give or take.
Wow.
God, unbelievable. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, you're basically not the same T-shirt, but the same kind of T-shirt. You got the sandals on, you got the shorts on. You're primitive in the first picture, and you're snazzy in the second picture. That's amazing, honest to God. So Tyler, you weighed about 307. You said, how much you weighing now?
I float around like 180, 185.
God, that's amazing.
I know.
So you've lost 120 pounds, basically, 122 pounds.
Yes, sir.
God, and how did you find out about Livea in the first place?
So I had a friend who tried it out. We were just at we were at some birthday party, and he was telling me because he had lost, I think, 30, 40 pounds, and he just has kept it off for years now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me about it, and I was a little skeptical at first. I didn't feel like I was maybe their target demographic, but hey, it worked. I love it, and here we are.
Yeah, I've dropped, got down about 90 pounds in the last couple of years. 40 of that on Livea. It's wonderful. So are you having to wade through all the chicks coming after you?
Oh yeah.
He goes, oh yeah. So do you have a family? Are you a married guy? Got a family? You don't look that old though.
No, I'm 29.
Okay.
I'm single. I got a house in Andover. I live with my little brothers, and yeah, we're just living the dream.
Well, for any ladies out there interested, the line of the studio.
Yeah.
Feel free to write in.
Send all your audience members this way. Andover's a lovely place to start a family.
Andover is a great place. I would agree. I used to live in Dayton, Minnesota, so I'd get over that Andover way once.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I love that area. As a matter of fact, it's terrific. But so, I mean, you go out to the restaurants now. Do you get the phone numbers handed to you? They just kind of slip the phone number to you.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, man, I just cannot keep them away.
Yeah, you're good at keeping the weight away, but not the ladies away.
Right.
What was the toughest part about losing all this weight as you kind of transition from being a little bit bigger to small now?
I would say probably the initial, like the first couple months were pretty hard, but once you form that habit, it's really easy. It's just upkeep. But yeah, those first couple, like, you know, weighing out your food and only doing, like, I didn't put anything in my body that they told me I shouldn't. They come up with this plan for you, and if you just listen to what they say and do everything that they say, the results speak for themselves. It's pretty awesome.
You know, Tyler, I'm here to tell you, you're exactly right. I'm glad you brought that up, as a matter of fact, because it is not a hard program to follow. People think, oh my, it's got to be difficult to lose that much weight. It's not hard at all if you just follow, you know, whatever they lay out for you, which, by the way, is not, you're not sitting there, you know, eating grass and leaves and stuff. You get good food. I got no problem with the food at all, Tyler. I really don't.
No, they've got they've got so many options too. I worked my way through their whole pantry, but they've got some that I like a little more than others. It's nothing that's like, oh, I have to eat this. They don't have anything like that.
And now that you're kind of down at that 180-ish that you were talking about, what is it like when it comes to keeping that weight off? Do you fluctuate back up at all, or are you at a place where you're comfortable? It's really not a hassle to stay around that weight that you are.
Yeah, so I'd say now that I'm on the the lifestyle phase, where I'm not just eating the same, you know, meals every day. For me, Monday through Friday, I'm pretty strict with what I eat. Everything's portion control, and you're just having these scheduled meal times, and you're eating healthy, and the water intake is insane. But on the weekends, I can still, I'm not going to freak out if I go and have like a slice of pizza or something, or if I have a couple more drinks than I probably should. You know, it's just, as long as the Monday through Friday for me is the big thing that's helped me keep it off you gain 2 pounds on the weekend, you'll have it off by Wednesday once you're back on your Monday grind. And that's what's been huge for me is, I was thinking, when I was in the beginning, I'm like, geez, I'm just going to have to eat like this the rest of my life. No more drinking, no more going out to eat with friends, because, you don't weigh the food at the restaurant. And that's just not the case. You still can. It's all about balance.
Yep. No, it is all about balance. Could you put his pictures back up on the screen now? Because I got to make a comment. Okay, I'm looking at, on the right, there's Tyler Hoover, weighing 185 pounds, looking really good. No question about it. The difference for me, and this is just me, being off the north side, I look at Tyler on the right and it's like, oh, look at that guy. What a nice looking guy. He looks like he's very, very happy. I look at the picture on the left and it's like, I guarantee you that guy is a smart ass.
Yeah. The cockiness came out.
The cockiness.
They don't tell you about that.
I think it's just wonderful, though, because you looked happy in the first picture. There's no question about it. You look happy in the second picture. How long did it take again for you to get from picture A to picture B?
I think 8.5 months, give or take. Right? I don't know the exact number, but something like that. So
you're talking about losing over 10 pounds a month. That is magnificent, because I've been averaging about the same, 10 to 15 pounds for a few. Well, matter of fact, it is about 15 pounds. So that's must have been where you lost about 15 pounds a month. In order to maintain that and sustain that, it's not that hard, though, is it?
Yeah, I wish I could take like all the credit, but really it was the team, like that Coon Rapids team, the people they got over there. All I did was I did what they said. So I can't take all the credit. They just told me what to do, and I did it.
What's so funny about that is you laugh, because I was laughing at the same time, because they tell me what to do, and I did it.
Right. All I did was listen. And did you have a solid support system outside of the team at Livea? Like, were your brothers involved in helping you? Do they have to smack some, Cheetos out of your hands at 3 a.m. because you're trying to relapse?
Oh, but my friends are probably the opposite. They're like, dude, just have a piece.
One slice of pepperoni is not going to kill you.
Right, dude? Exactly. Like, just go away.
You got the same kind of friends that I got. Tyler, you got to come in the studio sometime and hang out with us, I think.
Say less. I will be there.
So you got to work today?
Yes, sir. I'm working. Well, don't tell my boss, but yeah, I'm working right now.
Okay, you won't say where you're working, so I noticed. Yeah, you're working really hard, Tyler.
In the closet right now.
He's hanging out. Tyler, do come back on the show, though. Let's talk about this, once in a while, how you're maintaining, because the maintaining part, you've been doing very, very well as well. I got about another 8, 9, 10 pounds to lose, and I'll be down where I want to be. I will have lost 101 pounds, which.
There we go.
Tyler will tell you, and I'll tell you, it was not hard to do. I would like to go, oh, this was a grind. It is not a grind. It's easy.
It really is. I can't, I don't like bragging about that, but it really wasn't as hard as everyone makes it. Everyone around you is going to be like, wow, no, it was really easy. Really easy.
That's why you got to start taking a little more confidence. It wasn't just the team, Tyler. It was you. You put in the blood, the sweat, the tears. You did it all.
That's exactly right. Tyler, great having you on. Thanks so much for doing this in the first place. Tyler Hoover, ladies and gentlemen, lost 115 pounds. Honest to God, that is just, Tyler, I love your attitude. You sound like a very happy guy, and that makes us all happy that, you've been through this. What could have been a grind wasn't a grind, and you're very happy, and you got to get in the studio one of these days, oh, Pally.
Yeah, man. I'm here if you ever need me. Appreciate you taking the time and having me on.
Oh, God, it's great having you on, Tyler. Come back soon.
Will do. You have a great day.
Thanks. Bye. Now, look at those pictures. Does the guy on the left not look like a smart ass? And then the same guy, but he weighs less. He just looks happy.
The thing is, on the left, he looks happy, but you could tell on the right, he's like, it's a different attitude.
Yeah.
He's got a different aura, a different kind of glow. You can tell he's satisfied with where he's at.
Right. He's rocking a chain on the second one. Yeah, he's got a little confidence, got a swag showing out a little bit.
Yeah.
No, for all the ladies out there, I suppose I could, I'll just give you his phone number right on the air. You just call him directly.
I'll tell you what, email us in, and then we'll have a vetting process.
Vetting process. That works for me. That's a magnificent idea. Let us take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Josh Arnold will join us right after this. I'm here talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, it seems like banking has changed quite a bit since you first opened your doors in 1998.
Yes and no. In 98, we didn't have online and mobile banking like we do today. Many banking processes have also changed. One thing that hasn't changed is we still provide a true community bank experience right here in the Twin Cities.
Our team takes the time to get to know our customers and their goals. This creates a relationship that is unique in banking today and one our customers appreciate. It's why we like to say we provide a better banking experience.
You're absolutely right, Brad. I've been a customer for a long time. The service your team provides is phenomenal.
Thanks, Tommy.
So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yeah, baby, take that home with you. No question about it. Remember I said that when Tyler Hoover was on, I said, a thin guy just looks very, very happy, he's thin and all the rest of it. And when he's heavy, he looks kind of like a smart ass.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be heavy to be a smart ass, because Josh Arnold's a smart ass too. And he's very thin.
Always with the little dig. Always with the little dig.
I just decided.
Now, you could cut that out. You could say, hey, Josh is an ass, but he's very smart. Or you could say he's smart. And what an AH he is. You could say that, and I'd say, okay, I am smart. But being a smart ass, it just doesn't, I can't put them together.
I will tell you this again. I'm very serious. If I don't make fun of you, it means I don't like you. So there you go.
You are so fun. You're so fun.
You're so fun.
Yeah, just a hug and a kiss to you.
So
unbelievable,
Josh. Since we got the shakeup in the presidency, and Joe Biden's not gonna run for president again, and it looks like Kamala Harris might be the one to do it. I mean, how is the economy looking? Is this affecting the economy at all right now?
On a day?
Yeah,
on
one
a
day.
Is it affecting the economy? No.
Good.
No, it's not affecting the economy. Will it affect certain investments or change some things? It could on certain stocks. Many people have said that with Joe Biden out, that puts the quote unquote Trump trade at risk. It also takes some of the, we'll say, luster and excitement out of the Republican convention. And if I was how do we put it? If I was a cynic, I would say this seemed kind of planned, contrived, that, let's see, we're going to change horses right after the Republican convention. We're going to take a lot of the steam away from the Republicans and put it back on the Democrats, because we, the Democrats, want to continue having a lot of power and prestige. And we're also going to take a few other issues off the table. We're going to take the age issue off the table and flip the script. We're going to take the issue relating to trade off the table. We're going to put the border czar up and say, look what we've done to secure the border. We've got the border czar to prove that. I'm waiting for a little laughter there on the border czar.
I'm waiting for laughter. Yeah, well, you're right.
Guessing you guys kind of missed that. It is very, very strange that we're going to, not that I wish anybody should have COVID, but very strange that the president is said to have had COVID 3 times in the last several months. And this time it's go to your house, and not the White House, go to your other house on the beach. We're going to give you and Dr. Jill extra Secret Service protection And we're going to take some of that Secret Service protection away from your challenger up in Milwaukee so that you can have it, because we're going to send many, many people to see you in, we'll say, in Rehoboth Beach, and you can entertain them, and they're going to tell you, here's what's good for the party. Here's what's good for the party and the country. And you're out, and there's only one person that can replace you, and that's the vice president.
So that's the deal.
And that's the deal. And you notice how many people all fell in line behind the vice president and endorsed her. And also how much money has been pledged to political action committees and super political action committees, and to the vice president herself, all in the last few days. A lot of money.
Yeah, I think the number I saw was like 81 million she's
that
raised.
Was just to her.
Yeah.
That's just to her. There's another 230 million that was pledged to the PACs and super PACs that'll be distributed to her and Democrats in swing states. Now, that said, what's the impact on the markets? Well, yesterday, the Trump trade did not work, which was small capitalization stocks and value stocks did not zoom up. The tech stocks bounced back. Well, and then I did see a study questioning whether the Trump trade worked at all, other than the first month after his election back in 2016, when small capitalization stocks took off, financials did very well, and the rest of the sectors kind of did blah. But at the end of Trump's term, the leading sector was technology. Tech was very, very big. Financials and small caps further down on the list. Oh, the other thing that did very well, at least initially, was the energy trade, on the belief that drill baby drill would really give the energy companies a nice boost. At the end of the time, that was not the case. I think this time the energy companies might get a boost on the drill baby drill, but if you have drill baby drill and a lot of oil available, the price of oil is going to do what? Come down. More availability is going to lead to lower prices, and that is not going to be very helpful to oil company or energy company stocks. Now, it is said that there's a lot of drilling that's going to give a boost to companies like Schlumberger or Halliburton, but in their recent earnings report last week, that definitely did not show up, nor did it show up in any of their guidance. The interesting thing with both, I'll say with the new candidate, with the vice president running, or I'll say the leader in the, I'll say having the lead as the presumptive nominee for the Democrats. I did see a few comments made that she would actually be good for technology because she comes from California, because she's younger and does understand technology. Not to mention, she is at least positive on the stock market. Now, Donald Trump has measured his success or failure based on how the stock market does, which is, very interesting indeed. Joe Biden, on the other hand, no interest in stocks at all. So his mantra really for 50 years, I don't own stocks, not interested in stocks. The bigger the business, the badder it is, and those businesses need to be broken up.
Ooh.
The vice president, at least according to sources I've listened to and read, has an opposite view, but that's still a wait and see. Tax policy, well, that right now is open for debate. Right now, I think Trump wants lower taxes across the board, but in exchange for that, to pay for lower taxes, he wants higher tariffs. The vice president, it is thought, wants higher taxes for corporations, and maybe higher taxes on people like you and I, Tom, because we have higher income and we might not be paying our fair share. The question of a wealth tax under her, I think, is that might go away.
Oh, yeah.
So in my estimation, shortly, just as a short consensus, I would still stick with any allocations, at least that I'm using, which is still up to 70% invested in stocks, no money in bonds, and up to 30% in cash, both for safety and to take advantage of any of the inevitable market pullbacks and or volatility that we will see. And I think over the next several months, you could see a little bit more volatility. Right now, we're entering into heavy-duty earnings period, and actually an earnings week this week and next week, when over the next 2 weeks, about 50% of the S&P is going to report their earnings. Today, or I'll say this morning, we had General Electric Aerospace beat the number. They were up. Old favorite, Coca-Cola. People are drinking a lot of Coke, the original energy drink.
Yeah, that's when there was cocaine in it.
Well, it's just called energy drink. I don't know whether it had cocaine or not. I don't have the original recipe.
No, that's true.
That's locked away at SunTrust Bank down in Atlanta. But yeah, it was the original energy drink. A lot of caffeine in that. Coke beat and raised. Worldwide case volumes were up. The stock just hit a new high. On the other hand, UPS missed and guided down. So their stock dropped. Their stock dropped. Oh, good 5-6%. Not so good. And Spotify. Well, they surprised on the upside, got more subscribers, and they had a very nice jump as well. Tonight after the close, you've got Google and Tesla. We'll see what Tesla has to say. General Motors today didn't say too much other than they're going to reorganize their Chinese business. And I don't think GM is selling that many electric vehicles.
Right, that's true.
So, that is one thing that you will see. And this is going to be very interesting. Elon Musk has pledged $45 million a month to the Trump campaign.
That's what I heard. It's like, Jesus.
That may not be so good for, Tesla stock, because he's going to have to sell a bunch of Tesla stock.
Yeah.
To pay for that. So that could cause Tesla stock to be under wraps. But at the same time, the question is, will all the subsidies for you to buy electric vehicles be left in place? Because Trump has also said, we're getting rid of the EV mandate.
Right.
Our constituents don't want to drive EVs. They want to drive ICE. They want ICE, internal combustion engines.
Yep, it's true.
So that's going to be a very interesting going forward.
All right, Pally, we'll see you in studio on Friday.
Well, we will talk to you on Friday. I've got to go see my grandson in New York if I can get there.
Yeah, if you can get there, there you go.
I mean, Delta canceled 4,600 flights.
Oh my God!
From Friday to Sunday, they canceled an additional. I think I saw the number 550, but it could have been 600 flights yesterday.
Man. All right, we'll keep an eye on it, but we'll talk to you about it on Friday, okay, Pally?
You got a deal. Talk
Thanks
to you later.
Josh Arnold, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Kristen Burt will join us right after this.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. And in the morning, I've got to be right, because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather, so you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast, and I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kamala Harris of the morning show, Kristen Burt.
Should I start wearing like power suits and like chucks?
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
We need pantsuits all day, every day.
Yeah, pantsuits.
I love it, pantsuits. And Beyonce will be backing me. My entrance music is her song Freedom. The Swifties will be making accounts for me.
There you go. You're covered. top to bottom. I have not looked at any, or I shouldn't say looked at any. I haven't even seen any estimates of the percentages that go toward Kamala and the percentages go toward Trump. I mean, is that looking like a dead heat so far?
I personally don't follow polls. After 2016, I don't think, because it really depends on who shows up at the voting booth.
Yeah.
That's all that really matters. You can talk all you want. You can vote in a poll, but if you don't go down and cast your ballot, anything can happen. I still think it'll be close. For Trump, I think JD Vance was a really bad VP pick.
Oh, really?
I watched his speech yesterday and I was shocked at how low energy he was and kind of like lackluster. And not that Pence was like, a bundle of energy either, but he was, he had that political background. He had been in government for a long time, where JD Vance is a relative newcomer to the political scene. And so I thought, well, his strengths must be getting out there, motivating the crowd, being a really strong public speaker. And I just didn't see that. I was really like, whoa, at how low key it was.
I was really shocked that Trump didn't pick a woman as his running mate. That would have been a much smarter move.
Nikki Haley should have been his number one pick, because
couldn't agree more.
She would have been the perfect moderate Republican to not only woo female voters, but also to woo some of those people who are on the fence. That to me was a huge miscalculation.
I agree. That was not a good call. And now it's, in your estimation, it's even worse because Vance is not a good speaker.
Yeah. I honestly, especially where, his book Hillbilly Elegy had been adapted by Hollywood. I just figured that he's had enough media training, was charismatic enough. And I just, the audience even, because Trump is so good at getting his voter base really excited and they're really into it. And he was speaking, the audience looked like they were taking a nap. There weren't those, when you structure a public speech, you go, okay, this is the pause and they're going to do the big applause or the cheer or the whatever. So we get the crowd going. It's interactive. And that wasn't happening.
Right. And especially coming off of Hulk Hogan ripping off his shirt.
Yeah.
Like you can't now all of a sudden kill all that energy in the next appearance that you have.
100%.
That's very true. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. So right now you think it kind of looks, I haven't even looked at it because I don't really care.
Yeah. I mean, I would never call a race. To be honest, I would never call a race. We're in the end of July here.
No, right.
So many things. This has already been a chaotic election cycle. So anything can happen all the way up until November. And so I just, don't dive too deeply into it, but stay educated, stay aware, and I will be casting my ballot on November 5th.
Yeah, there you go. 2 days before my birthday. Everybody be out there, not thinking about my birthday, but in electing some hun yuck.
To the White House.
To the White House,
Who wants the job? What a terrible job.
I know. I would never want that job. Oh, God. Can you even imagine?
No, it's terrible. It's an awful, politics is awful. It's gotten worse. I think it's interesting seeing how my views of politics have changed too, because growing up in Massachusetts, you live under the Kennedy legacy.
Oh, yeah.
You had such respect for that. And, I lived in Maine too. And, the Bush family lived nearby too. So they were at Walker Point. You also I had respect for that, but it's just, now I'm like, everyone's just in it for themselves. And
I agree.
I hate even becoming like a single issue voter too. That is what I never want to be. And I feel like I've been cornered into that.
Donald Trump made a mistake because he reached out to me and asked if I would do an interview with him on this show. Then I found out he wanted a pre-record. It's like, I'm not doing a pre-recorded interview. It's have to be live. So I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but I'm not doing pre-recorded interviews. Forget it.
And then it'll be conditional too. Like that's the other thing. Yeah. They will likely hand you like, you can't talk about this or this or this.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
And that is inauthentic. And it does a disservice to everyone who, all of your listeners, honestly.
I agree. That's why I'm not going to do it. Yeah. I'm not doing a controlled interview. I'll just, It would have been great to have him on all the rest of it. And now, I was talking to people about Joe Biden if Trump was going to come on, having Joe Biden on too. Mm-hmm. So now that would be Kamala, it'd be a whole different deal. She's probably a little busy to be doing, a lot of interviews, I would imagine.
What if you did? I'm just throwing this out there as an idea. What if you did a JD Vance and then whomever Kamala Harris's VP pick is?
Gretchen Whitmer.
It's not going to be another female.
You don't think so, really?
It is going to be a lovely vanilla white dude from a swing state.
What do you think about lovely vanilla white dude? Who would that be?
A lovely vanilla white dude. It's really what it's going to be. And that's because America can't handle like too many boxes checked off. I don't really want to hear the word woke at all through the election.
Oh, God, I agree.
That word has been co-opted. It's annoying. Yeah. Again, we have so many bigger issues as a country.
Yeah, we do.
Than worrying about the word woke or throwing the word woke around. Like, let's get this country back on track.
Yeah. And is there any chance that both parties can come together and say, look, why don't we get this country back on track? Because it's been a pain in the ass for the last several years.
It really has.
Yeah,
it really has. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for the little guys like all of us just going, do your job. Pass the legislation that works for the majority of your constituency.
Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, once again, the one that upsets me is you disagree with me politically, so I hate you. What? Jesus, settle down with the hate. Do you even know what hatred is? If you knew what hatred was, you wouldn't use that word, believe me.
Right. And the separation of church and state to me is very important. I think that is something that's bled too much into politics.
Really? You think it has? It used to be in there a lot deeper, I'll tell you that. It was
You think so? I feel like it's worse now.
Oh, hey, remember John F. Kennedy? They didn't want him as president because he was Catholic.
But I feel like legislation is...
Oh, legislation is different.
Legislation is making decisions based off of religion. And I'm like, not everyone subscribes to your religion.
Like what? I mean, like, what have they been trying to push through recently?
Well, certain states, and I believe it's Louisiana, if I'm correct, they're now posting the 10 Commandments in public school classrooms. What if I am of the Jewish faith? Or what if I am Muslim? Or what if I am atheist? Why am I looking at the 10 Commandments on a public school wall? I believe it's Oklahoma is now teaching the Bible. Now, that's a college level course. I think if you want to study the Bible, I think that's great. Or if you're like a religion or theology major or anything else like that, that's a great thing to study. But why is it being taught in public schools?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those situations. Why do they teach a lot of things that really, it's like, how is that my business? Why don't you teach me how to read and write? How about that?
Exactly. And, the reading levels, the literacy levels of kids in elementary school.
Terrible.
Terrible.
And it's not just because of religion. It's because of a number of things.
Yeah.
And get back to teaching kids. How about that? Let's get back.
Yes, some schools were not teaching phonics and they realized kids were now not learning how to read and they're going back and teaching phonics. I'm like, wait, how are you teaching kids to read without phonics? I don't even understand that. Like sounding out words and letters.
And I've told you my third grade bit of trouble I got in because of religion at a Catholic school. I told you that, haven't I?
You've been in trouble with religion a lot.
I have, but I love the Catholic, like the society of the Italians and the French and all that. I really did enjoy that part. I did a lot. That was a lot of fun.
Well, and I think that's why, like, I if you want to send your kids to have like a religious education, you send them to Catholic school or you send them to a Jewish school but I don't think everyone should be taught unless you're going to teach every religion. I guess that's my point. You can't just teach one religion.
So the priest came in, we're going to go to confession before going to communion, right? You go to confession first and then you go to communion. And it's usually third grade? I think it's third grade, if I remember correctly.
I either did it in second or third grade for communion. I think second grade. Yeah.
Second grade, maybe. But the priest was in there, and you have to understand something when you go to communion and you're in the confessional before the communion. When you're in that confessional, I know you think you're talking to me, but you're actually talking to God. And I said, no, you're not. Oh, I got in a little bit of trouble for that one. Little smart ass Tommy. But even at that age, in third grade, I was probably 6 or 7, because I started school early. But I don't understand why they teach that kind of thing. Actually, you're speaking directly to God. Come on. Even a 6-year-old knows better than that, right?
Honestly, I think it depends on how you've been raised in the home in terms of religion and everything else.
I guess, but I mean, I am getting so sick of this, these people turning on each other. I cannot believe the way America has turned on the Jews. It just pisses me off to no end.
It's sad.
I got a lot of good friends. I mean, not Josh Arnold. That's one Jew I don't care for, but no, but I just, my whole life, I grew up with black people, Jews, and Catholics. So, I'm comfortable with all that. I wish we could get back to that kind of thing.
I think we just need to get to a better place in general.
We
overall,
do.
so,
We do.
yeah.
Stop with the hatred. No, I disagree with you. You're an idiot. And no, I'm not an idiot. I lived a different life. Well, I might be an idiot, but I lived a different life than you did. So calm down. Right?
Yes. I do think that the wider you cast your friend circle, the more you have an understanding of the world around you, different religions, different races, backgrounds, all of that.
There's no question about it.
And that's what I've loved about big city living. New York City, living in Los Angeles, love visiting Chicago, because I feel like my friend group is just people from all different backgrounds and walks of life. And I've just learned so much, and it's enriched my life. So that's all.
So I'll close with this. This is how tight my neighborhood was. Okay. Catholics, blacks, and Jews. There was a joke, and it probably made it out nationally. You want to hear an interesting story?
Go for it. 2
Irishmen walk out of a bar. You want to hear another take on that? 2 Jews walk into a bar and buy it. See, now that's funny, but most people wouldn't find that funny. Because see, you think it's funny.
Yeah, I'm also laughing at AJ with the well-timed rim shot.
Oh, yeah, he did hit the rim.
I missed it on the first one.
Yeah, you did miss it on the first one. But you used to be able to joke around with people about that kind of thing, and it was funny and it was fun. Well, you can't even do that at all anymore.
Yeah, well, comedy's changed, humor's changed.
But God,
our worldview has changed.
It's true. All right, well, we're gonna cheer up. We're gonna. For the rest of this time, like I said, I don't know. So you think it's going to be a guy that she's going to, a honky man that she's going to pick?
Let me just throw out I think I said yesterday, I think it's going to be Josh Shapiro, Governor Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania. I think that is,
nice
for them, it's a very safe choice. It's a major swing state with electoral votes that the Democrats need. And he's got a strong social media presence. And he is a conservative Democrat. That also brings something to the table.
No, I agree with that. But he is a Jew, and Jews are not really being treated all that well in America now. I wish they were, but they're not.
Yeah. Well, maybe that helps, though, having someone in.
It does for me. It does for me.
And also Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, is also Jewish. So, and if he is the first gentleman, he will be in charge. This will be really interesting, actually, just as a whole social dynamic. He's in charge of doing Christmas and Hanukkah decorations in the White House. I want this. I feel like it'll be the first time we get the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, by the Rose Garden or something. I think that this could be really fun because I want a guy's view of doing decorations or having high tea with all of the other first ladies around the world. Come on, bring it on. Maybe he'll serve beer and pretzels instead of tea and little tiny sandwiches.
Buffalo wings.
Yeah, buffalo wings. There you go.
Buffalo wings. Yes.
I do think, honest to God, because the 4 people on this show right now came from completely different backgrounds, and we can agree and not treat each other like shit. Why don't we use this as an example? We got this. Just calm down. Right?
Yes. You should exercise your right to vote. Let's all just say that.
Exactly.
Anyone sitting home in this election, I just think it's a really bad idea.
No, I think you're absolutely right. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, we'll talk entertainment, maybe.
Man, well, but this was important. I think this was very
important. Yeah. And, let's talk Olympics tomorrow because there's a lot of exciting stuff. And it's a big week with the opening ceremony on Friday.
Yeah. We'll get that done tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you. Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. See, I love having conversations like that because nobody else will do that kind of thing. They're either afraid to do it or or they go way over the top with their opinions. 4 people just basically said, yeah, that's fine. Right.
No attacking, which is nice.
Yeah,
there wasn't at each other's throats.
Right. Who needs that? Calm down.
Absolutely.
All right. Family shows up in about 10 minutes.